You got some Negroes who engage in magical thinking. They think that if they teach their children to love all people, you know, I don't teach my children about color. I teach them to love and respect all people. And not to see color. Well, that's nice. No, that's wonderful. But tell me that this, are the other people teaching their children? Huh? How is teaching your child this going to protect it against the people who hate you? Do you think by teaching yourself this, by some magic osmosis, other people are going to achieve the same consciousness? You're out of your mind. And yet we get something like people who think that. So they sit around the weakest of people, the most downtrodden of people, teaching their people how to love their enemies. And then wonder why they catch hell at every turn. Yeah, you can do that if you're willing to be dead and let people just run over you to the end. And if someone has convinced you that that's the essence of religious life, fine, it's all right. But I'm telling you, you see, we got a lot of people who are caught up in that thing. So therefore, our masters will put that kind of religion into us, you see, and they will see that as the essence of religion. I've told you many times that the major problem out here, the reasons why our children are where they are, is the result of law-abiding, church-going Negroes. Yeah. And it's not the children and the youth who are the greatest criminal threat to the black community. It's law-abiding Negroes. It's Negroes who believe this white propaganda and this falsified religion. Yeah, who can't see color, and therefore they can't see their own colored children. Yeah. Who in their efforts to be sanctimonious and good create evil. Yeah, because someone told them being good is giving these other people who got more money than they know what to do with their money while they rob their own children. And then they wonder why they fear them as they walk down the street. Who told them love means giving the Koreans all of your money and supporting their children and keeping them out of crime, while your own on the street and you need the jobs and the need of being cared for. But someone has convinced you that love means to ignore your own children and love someone else's children better than your own. And you feel holy, you feel good when you do it. Someone has made you feel guilty when you concentrate your attention on your own children. Someone has told you to love everybody. You're so busy loving everybody, you can't get around to loving yourself. You can't get around to loving your own. How is it that people filled with self-hatred and have not come to love themselves can appropriately love any other people? And yet we are asking the very people who've been most psychologically abused and destroyed to carry the whole world on their shoulders and to become the universal saviors of mankind. We got some joke out here talking about the universal language of Islam. To save the world. The Arabs don't need you to save the Negro. The Chinese is not asking for a Negro to come over there and save China. The Frenchman is not asking Negroes to come over there and save them. Why did you get into this business? It's your business to save the world. And that's why you can't do anything for yourself, because you're too busy doing it for everybody else. You're too busy loving everybody. You can't even see the love that your own people need and your own children need. And you can't see that your people need more love than any other people here on earth. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Before you save the universe, before you slave and love all people, love your next door neighbor. Save a black neighborhood. Save black people. And if you can demonstrate that you can save black people, that you can save your next door neighbor, that you can save your family, that you can save your son, then maybe the world will be ready to listen to you and ask you your help.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Now, hopefully, y'all can hear me okay. Shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate you, Raw. Let me know if y'all can hear me all right. And today I do got a little bit of a headache, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be on here, but I had to come on here anyway. Yo, it is what it is, bro. We ain't got time for not, you know. The thing about it, I realize that we are probably not even probably we if things stay the way that they are, we are going to be slaves for the next 200 years. Yo, shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building. Appreciate you, my brother. Much love to you, my brother. Um, and I gotta get something off my chest. All right, thank you, Raw. Because even with, besides y'all, Raw, of course, Anthony, Cassidra, of course, Matron. Um, Black people are conditioned. We are weak as hell at the end of the day, bro. Like, we have been so thoroughly integrated that there is no way around it, right? I'm not sure how we will ever get out of this situation, at least not for the next 200 years, right? Because even when we talk about like politics and stuff like that, it'll divide families and homes and stuff, especially with this dude Trump, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all is under this illusion that, like, well, hey, he's this and that. But I'm still telling you, there is no lesser of two evils. But what might be more evil is the fact that you feel comfortable, because that's at the end of the day, that is what Black people want, is to be comfortable around them, right? Not to have our own stuff, you know what I'm saying? But no, we need to make things fair. We need to get this system equal. We need to, okay, fine. Good luck with that. And so for the next 200 years or so of the same conversations that we'll have over and over, y'all let me know when y'all get tired. Hopefully the youth ain't trying to hear none of that stuff. We don't have no friends, right? The only way that we can ever do anything is to have our own. And I hate to break it to you, but we were never citizens. And I'm trying to get y'all to show me, because if you were, you wouldn't be sitting there asking for all kind of bills and laws and complaining. Why are we even complaining about anything? Let's just go watch basketball, right? Let's shut the hell up and just go watch TV, right? Go watch. I can just go play the game, or go watch. You know what I'm saying? A playoff game. We are doomed. And then, like, even brothers, y'all would look at me like I'm some kind of extremist. Y'all don't believe what I say, like, what? Because, like, it may sound extreme the way that I put it, but I'm trying to put it to you the most basic way that it is. But maybe that's turning you off, but that means you're going to lose. That means we've lost. We're going to be enslaved again. We are still in the old world order, which means you still at the bottom. We still at the bottom. And, like, people that I love very much is like happy slaves. And I'm wondering now that if y'all gonna still come back with the same thing of, well, we gotta make sure we do this. We can't worry about ourselves now, right? Because you told us that last time. We said we'll worry about us next time. So okay, I said I'll sit out until we start worrying about us. But I'm wondering if we gotta push what we want off another force so we can save everybody else. But I don't know. So I'm thinking it'll probably be another like 200 years or so before, you know, because we worried about the wrong things, right? We can't even focus on the things that we agree on, right? We can have debates and conversations and disagreements about stuff we disagree on, but some stuff is going to lead us right back into slavery, but you don't believe what I'm telling you, right? Because you think I'm tripping. And then black people will tell me the same thing as like somebody in the Klan would tell me, like, well, if you don't like it here, you should leave. Like, what are you in the in the KKK or something? But I don't know, man. We are definitely doomed, and I see why we are in the situation that we in. So, and I was almost ready to be like, "Yo, I like, what can I do? I give up. There's nothing that I can do." Right? Which is why I even just came on here, just let me just stick to the. But what's the point of the history stuff? Like me, I'm seeing this stuff play over and over and over and over and over again. Right? It's not the first time. It's not the last time. Or it should be the last time, but it's not. Hell, we don't ever learn our lessons though. It's like we forget it, or I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But we have been so thoroughly integrated into other people's system that it's too much discomfort to even now we ain't never gonna be comfortable. So y'all good with the way that it is. So y'all have fun with it. That's all I can say. All right, so yeah, my bad. And then I know a lot of people don't want to listen or come around because even if it was on some Democrats and lesser of two evils and you shouldn't be, like, this shows how weak that we are, right? How stuck into or how thoroughly integrated we are into said system, right? To where you like, well, if this look, it's going to have to happen. Even the toughest ones to be like, oh well, ain't nobody gonna be willing to give up all the stuff that they got and move down somewhere. But y'all like, well, this is a little bit too far now. I'm thanking God for it. Like I'm of course I didn't vote for either lesser of two evils, but yo, Trump has really made fucking black revolutionaries, right? It's the most militant I've seen black people since what, like Reagan and them, right? Because this is, like I said, this is not new. But like we think that the same thing is like this is something unprecedented or something. And you will disassociate, but I'm serious about what I'm saying. Like they should not be taking our time. It pisses me off every day. Right. The Sam Cook a change is gonna come syndrome. This is like, and this is not to put it on a certain generation. Hopefully the younger generation don't, because clones come in all ages, as we know. But yo, people will disassociate themselves because they don't want to be like, oh well, I'm not going to make money on YouTube or whatever. I'm not going to. I'm going to be offended by my white friends, or my boss is going to look at this and fire me. Well, if I got to worry about that, I might as well go bang it on myself right now. Cause like, damn, I hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So now I can't even say nothing either. But I don't think black people. I know black people don't have, and it's going to be another 200 years because we don't even realize that. And I say that integration was a move by them. It must have been brilliant because they can tell that black people just want to be loved and accepted. But I don't know, man. So there's only one of two things that's going to happen. Either we go through another 200 years of this at least, and then hope that we make a change, or it don't get worse, or I don't know. But anyway, y'all, let me go here and do this. Because now I was gonna show y'all this, like, but what's the point, right? Y'all don't care. It is what it is, right? So we'll talk about that one when what you call it come on here. But everybody want to be black except for goddamn black people. Everybody want to be black except for black people. And this is the price that they pay for trying to be us. But
That
we don't
goes
even
for
want to
Rachel
be us.
Dolezal. She has been recommended not to sunbathe, not to lay in the sun in order to tan her body. Sunbathing typically can occur over hours for some people. And Rachel Dolezal is someone that many of you have heard of. She has a new name, Nikichi Amare Diallo. And this month, April 2026, she revealed that she was diagnosed with stage 1 malignant melanoma. This is a cancer. It was found in her lower back. That cancerous tumor had
I guess you was a Neanderthal after all. But the thing about it is though, now this white bitch was able to get on the NAACP. All right, for sure, my brother. Able to get up on the NAACP, get up on all of these black organizations, do all of this stuff, have a lot to do with funding and stuff like that. Right? Trying to be black, and this is the price that she pays. But it's the mindset of black people. Even okay, like when that Neanderthal boy was on here, and he was like, "Oh, you don't speak correctly. Like, what do you want me to speak the fucking Clint King's English and whatever?" He dumb as hell too. So he was, but no, who is determining what is right and what is wrong, right? Because if you look at it, we ain't the ones imitating them; they're the ones imitating us, right? You listen to We're not imitating no Asian music. They're imitating our music, right? White people or Neanderthals take our stuff and market it and sell it, right? It's like your frame of reference, right? You are the one who has the power. We don't believe that. We like, well, yeah, it is true. What makes it true? Yours is the one that sells. Your culture is the stuff that sells. Don't nobody want to buy their stuff. You ain't. Let's be real. Like Mexicans might listen to their own music, but we ain't riding around listening to that polka music and stuff. They do ride around listen. So if my stuff selling around the world, people imitating everything that we say, right? Y'all used to call it ebonics and talking together. Now it's in the dictionary, right? Like understand the power that you have in yourself, right? You the one that makes the rules. You don't need nobody else.
has been removed. And the recommendation is not to lay out in the sun, to become darker, right? Rachel Dolezal not only laid out in the sun in order to just to get a tan, to copper up a little bit, or to remove paleness, but she wanted to appear darker than what she would have normally appeared as under normal tanning circumstances, right? This lady pretended to be a black woman. She pretended to be a black American, and it just was exposed. She went along doing it for a very uh, long part of her life, and that moral deception was caught, and she paid the price. Right? Rachel Dolezal lost her employment. And my understanding, she was a good advocate. She had a job in the NAACP. But the truth is, you don't have to pretend to be part of a group of people in order to be an ally or advocate for them, right? So she considered herself transracial, trans black, right? And her parents confirmed, right, that she indeed was of European ancestry and what in America we call white American, Caucasian American, right? And, you know, uh, skin cancer.
Exactly, Raw. They pay attention to you. They try to get into your stuff. They kidnapped us to come over here because they was having the starving times. Before you went over there, they was in the dark ages. And now you'd be like, oh yeah, he is right about. No, he's not. He's dumb as hell. He don't talk right. You know what I'm saying? Because you have your own frame of reference, right? But everybody but us wants to be black. Is that right?
is Rachel Dolezal black?
Pardon?
Is Rachel Dolezal black? Rachel Dolezal, if you're not familiar, is the woman who was wearing dark makeup and was leading the NAACP, had grown her hair out kinky into an afro, and then it turned out that her parents spoke out, and she's basically as white as they come, and she just was dressing every day as a black person and passing as black and leading the NAACP.
Yeah.
And everyone in the community.
I don't know her, so I don't want to comment on that.
No, I want you to comment because
She was just
very simple.
I feel like I know what.
So she was just wearing makeup.
Yes,
I feel like that's inappropriate, and I feel like going back to what you said before, that is a perfect example of costuming.
Okay, well,
because
that seems very unfair and it feels judgmental, because to me, if you're going to say that you felt that despite the fact that you were born a male, that you felt on the inside that you were something else, and then you went through steps to present.
All right, so y'all already know, but speaking of y'all girl here, of course what inevitably happens, you get your. Now she's been trying to con them and stuff for a long time, right? And of course, y'all already know, but just to show her real quick, just because she got brought up. Let's show this.
Of some incredibly racist up here.
And for some reason, there's a lot of people that are really afraid of this nappy-headed black bitch who just has a lot to say, but not really a lot to offer. So I'm not afraid of Candace Owens, and I'm happy.
Yeah, somebody in the thing was like, yo, she looked like Jigsaw in the face. Now, tell me this ain't no Neanderthal talking about some show be proof. Yeah, tell me this ain't no goddamn Neanderthal. So, anyway.
And for some reason, there's a lot of people that are really afraid of this nappy-headed black bitch who just has a lot to say, but not really a lot to offer. So I'm not afraid of Candace Owens, and I'm happy to match her energy. I'm happy to wrestle in the mud with that bitch and, roll around and hurl insults back and forth with her if that's what she wants to do. I'm not afraid of Candace Owens. There's really honestly nothing that this woman can do to me. There's nothing that Candace Owens can say about me that's going to harm me. Candace Owens is a liar, okay? And she's a deeply insecure woman who is very unloved at the end of the day. This is a woman who is allegedly in a relationship with a gay man who is always going to feel the rejection of her family, the rejection of her mother, the rejection of her family that she claims left her alone when she was 14 years old, right, to fend for herself. This is a girl whose parents gave up on her at a very young age, and she is not loved. And as I said, God hates you, Candace. God hates you. Your husband hates you. Humanity hates you. Everybody who loved Charlie Kirk hates you.
Well, she can't speak for humanity. Well, maybe she mean Neanderthals hate her. Well, y'all hate her too, I guess. So maybe she can't speak for y'all.
Your children are 100% going to hate you. And if what Milo is saying about your husband allegedly getting plunged in the ass by other men is true, your husband, the person that you're supposed to grow old and died with, hates you, Candace. So just, there's one.
And by the way, we know most of them are homosexual, so probably true.
Something that you need to do, Candace, you need to just internalize how hated you are. Okay. Just understand how much oxygen you're stealing and what a shame it is, how much oxygen you are robbing from this planet. I think there needs to be like a quota on the oxygen that Candace is allowed to consume. Just understand how hated you are. I just want you to internalize every single time you do your show and you think that you are, spreading your truth, just internalize how hated you are, Candace, and just know that you are truly irredeemable. Nothing you say or do is ever going to be able to redeem your dark soul and your dark heart.
So you saw it there.
Now, this is the thing, right? And I know a lot of you brothers would be like, oh, yeah, I agree, and all this other stuff, right? And you get what you get, right? You get your penalty, is whatever happens to you happens, you know what I'm saying? But as Black people, we don't have this, as y'all used to say, on code thing, right? Where in public, no matter what it is the law that Blackness does not get disrespected, period. right? And so when people gonna be like, well, do I feel sorry for her? Like, who is, But oh, let's see.
She called Candace Owens a nappy headed bitch. What are my thoughts about this? If I'm being totally frank with you, I don't feel any sympathy towards Candace Owens, not even a little bit.
Now, see, the thing is though, right? This is where my problem becomes though. It's because I don't think that any level of clooning or clone being acting like a clone is better than the other one, right? So when we be like, I don't have no sympathy for X, Y, and Z, right? Are we gonna have that same energy all the way around? Right? Because some of the stuff that y'all be saying be having me like, damn, man, I just come out of clan meeting just now. Like, what the hell? Like, damn, take the hood off your head so I can see your face while you saying that to me. Right? And some of y'all think this lesser of two evil. I see it as a integrated mindset, a weak ass mindset. But see, this is more easy to point out. It's just more obvious. That's what makes the other evil way more evil, because even if I show you in your face, you like, well, hey, I still got my food stamps and I got to goddamn, no, don't disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to disrespect that, because get what you got to get. I'm not saying that because shit, I need to go get mines, but unfortunately black men don't really get like government programs, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, man.
Not even a little bit at all. She made her bed, let her sleep in it. My thing is, if they think that about you, Candace, what do you think they think about everybody else? But Candace is a token.
But what do you think all of them think? This is the thing though, right? Because y'all think that is some of them. This is the problem. Y'all think so. Well, we just need to find the good ones and love the good ones. But as Muhammad Ali said, even if that were true, if there's a thousand snakes coming at me and I don't know which one is the poisonous one, I might as well just shut the door. And damn, it's like we don't understand, right? When we be like, well, you made your bed. Like now we keep doing that though, right? Like to where we never defend anybody. And it's like, all right, well, we'll look up this person and see what they did. Okay, this sister, she got on the internet talking junk about black men, you know what I'm saying? Well, she got what she let. Well, this brother got online talking junk about. Now we're gonna be like, oh well, let's wait and see what they did before we pulled it up. Now, after a while, nobody getting punished for nothing, right? Because we just like, well, you did what you did and blah, blah, blah. But let you do something to Jane Elliott. Now, they could be like, Jane Elliott got what you deserve, but you still getting punished for what you did to Jane Elliott, right? For what you did to Tim Wise. They'll be like, hey, that's what the N-word lover got. But now this boy got to, you know what I'm saying? Because we know what snakes do. Now we can sit here all day, but the thing is, it's different types of snakes and different types that's poisonous and different types that kill you in different ways. But y'all only sitting here looking at, hey, this rattlesnake over here. Well, this other whatever poison snake is like coming down your back, you can't even feel it, and it's about to bite you in the back. And every time we keep saying, well, well, you got your bill, we can't do nothing. Yo, at some point, it's gonna reach somebody that you love, and you say, well, we need to defend this person. Well, why now with this person? Because you love them? Because y'all don't realize that a lot of people that y'all love are probably the clones. There's somebody that you love very deeply. And I can say for me, people that I love that have very, very bad clone activities. And I can't even talk with people about like race stuff, like because it's just pisses me off how weak that black people are. I was like, damn, I see how weak we are. You know. Anyway, y'all. So let's get listen to the Pope. Because of course, if they say it, it makes it okay, y'all.
You do this.
Serious problem. We see also the serious problems
Yeah, two different
affecting
things.
the education and healthcare systems, as well as large-scale migration to foreign countries, particularly of young people. Added to these internal problems, which are often fueled by hatred and violence, is the damage caused from outside by those who, in the name of profit, continue to lay their hands on the African continent to exploit and plunder it. This is the moment to change, to transform the story of this country. The time has come, today and not tomorrow, now and not in the future, to restore the mosaic.
Oh, look at this good white man. Listen to him read to you about why his doctrine of discovery, 600 years later, and he tell you you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you sitting there listening to him, sitting there smiling ear to ear. He sure is right. He is right, because not all of them is bad. He's right. We need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps.
Of unity by bringing together the diversity and riches of the country and the continent. Woe to those who manipulate religion in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain,
I
dragging
hope you don't have the
God's
same God.
sacred into darkness and filth. The masters of war.
The Pope is asking Africans in diaspora to go back to Africa to rebuild their countries. I think it's great advice, but I also think His Holiness should do more than that to encourage the African to go back
His
to Africa.
Holiness.
I would like to let the Pope understand that Africa to the diaspora left their families to go to a lonely and cold environment as a last resort. The Europeans who made a risky journey to America were fleeing from tyranny, and so is the African. I'm hoping His Holiness can use his influence to persuade the former colonial powers to stop interfering in African affairs. He should also
Please, sir. Could you use your powers and call on this God of yours to please stop this Neanderthal from his savage behavior? Apparently, the African gods was not enough to stop it. So, we might be we might be in Africa worshiping a tree right now if it wasn't for slavery. So, thank God, right?
Persuade the financial institutions in Europe and elsewhere to return their hundreds of billions in illegal funds back to rightful countries. Africans in the diaspora are just following the money. Until the African can manage its own resources without any interference from outside sources,
please, Your Holiness,
there's a level playing field on how he manages those resources. There is nothing to build or salvage. The European.
All right. Hopefully, Your Holiness will respond. Now, you see the response that you get. Now, let my brother Anthony say it. Let Ross say it. Let me say, Cassidra say it. One of us say it. Then there's a problem right now. Who I think probably voice matters a lot more, regardless of whatever. Because see, this is the thing that y'all don't understand, right? And this is where y'all probably even lose me, but this is a part of why we'll always be slaves, though, right? Because even though I disagree with a clone, they might get whatever they got coming to them. It is what it is. But I would side with Candace Owens over John Brown every day of the week because I am black only. It ain't even first, you know what I'm saying? Only. right? Now she gets whatever she gets, but don't ever, I will never be like side with John Brown to put down Candace Owens. Even if I side with my brother Anthony to put her down, I would join with her to put down John Brown, right? And this is why we'll never ever be like saved, because we don't understand how it's supposed to work. But y'all even think that's extreme. But look at the results that we get. And all I can say is I'll just sit back and just let it happen. And hopefully in 200 years, it'll wear off. Maybe it might take 400 years. If it don't get worse, it might get worse. I don't know. I hope it'll get better. So, but we at least got 200 more years to go of this system.
You know, I would love for us to actually move back home and create better ecosystems in our own hometown. Move back home with everything you've built, everything you've done, all the money you've saved. Go back, because I'm sorry, the money came from our land anyways. They stole our gold. They stole everything from us. And they're still stealing from us till today. So I would love for us to go back home, make our hometowns a better place. Can we do that? Can we honestly do that? Instead of, every day you're looking for, you're downgrading yourself because you want to be accepted. When you just go back home and build your own thing, be a boss, everybody's going to bow down to you because you're a boss. Make it make sense.
Family, she made the statement and so many people disagreed.
Now what? I just seen the crowd full of Negroes cheering when a goddamn Neanderthal who called himself a pope said the exact same thing, except for she spoke right. She spoke good, right? He didn't speak well. She spoke good. She talked good. But you don't agree when the sisters say the exact same thing as the damn Neanderthal. See, that's the problem that we having, because like when I say something, if I be like, hey, you're not a citizen or something, it was like, oh no, that's not true, blah 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 blah, and then I'll show you, I'll be like, hey, come on here, let's talk about it, let's explore it. You be like, no no no, but then you show one video of a white boy saying the same thing, well, this is true, and you come to me like I wasn't telling you that. Like, yo, we are straight up doomed, yo.
We've had so many Africans that have left African countries to travel abroad. We've had those that have left African countries in search of greener pasture. Some of them look at our African countries only to...
Now, that sister is more closer to your holiness than he could ever be, right? Because the black woman, you know what I'm saying, the black goddess and the black man is both God. It takes, a man and a woman to have a child. So she is closer to your holiness than he could dream of in his little Neanderthal brain.
Bow their heads in despair, in embarrassment, because of what our African leaders are doing. The level of corruption, the hard life people have to endure, the crazy things going on in Africa. And so many people said, why should I go back to a continent that doesn't care for its people? Why do I go back to a country that doesn't put the people first? Family in...
And that's crazy, because you are it. You know what I'm saying? Just like any of us, we are it. Why would you do something when you are it? Whatever you do, that's what it is. Like, if you haven't noticed, like, but it takes black people getting to the extremist of extreme points, like somebody being lynched on national TV or something, right? Oh, like, well, I guess 100 people being lynched on national TV because we'll let one slide, right? We'll complain about it, but that's all we really want to do, is just be in a position where we can complain comfortably, right? So I don't like the way it is, but shit, at least my stuff good. Well, okay then. As long as somebody else is manufacturing your stuff, and it ain't like I can't give us the excuse, because black people had businesses in the 1800s, in the 1700s, put their money together during slavery and built their own stuff during slavery. So I'm not giving us that excuse. Damn.
as much as I understand what this lady is saying, so many people would not agree to come back to Africa because they keep hearing bad news upon bad news upon bad news about African countries. Well, these African leaders only care about themselves, and we know that. And if you are to rate it right now, would say that President of Burkina Faso.
All right, so let's just wait another 200 years until it gets sorted out, I guess. I don't know what she's. Let's just keep trying to go to Europe and America and white neighborhoods and leave the hood and hope no other Negroes come out there, not knowing you are the Negro that came out there. But of course, I'll let her explain it because y'all believe
And I
it.
tell them, yes, it is. And Kenya is racist because it discriminates against its own. And I am
Sound like the African
so
brother.
very aware that I am privileged. I am so aware that I get favors. I'm so aware that there are things I was able to achieve simply because of the color of my skin.
And here's the thing that you're saying. It's not by people with the same skin color as you.
No.
It is Kenyans, blacks.
Yes.
Being prejudiced to their own.
Yes.
And choosing somebody else because in their minds, they believe that person is better because of their skin color.
Correct.
That is the height of the effect of colonialism.
Absolutely.
That is the epitome of it, where you think you're lesser than other people. You yourself believe somebody else is better on no other basis but on the skin color.
Yes.
Wow.
And so I was clearly aware that I was not the best candidate for that position. I just knew it's because they need somebody who looks like me. A racist. And I tell
Yo, what up, my brother?
Hey, what's going on, forecast? What's up? What's up, brother?
Not much, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, man. Just chilling, man. Yeah, it's been a long day, man. Finally got a chance to get off my feet for a little bit.
Nah, yeah, I feel you on
Other
that.
than that, everything good, man. Everything good, man. Shit, the people they around there having a little look like a community thing, man, like a kickback and everything. Everybody's still trying to get over that shit that happened last week.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
yeah,
What's
man.
crazy though? Like my neighbor is actually, well, somebody that's in the neighborhood of my mom is related to them. Like that's they people. Like,
yeah, talking about which one? Talking about the children, the children.
yeah. That's they
Wow, man.
nephew or whatever.
Wow, man. Hey, look here. It's funny thing about it, man. Not to get off topic with everything you were talking about. Like it was about probably a couple of weeks ago or something like that. I was up at the at Thrifty Liquor. It's a corner store, Thrifty Liquor, not far. About 5 minutes in a car from me. Anyway, I was there and I seen the dude because his one of his children, mama, she worked there. Yeah, she was working there. He was there like hanging around. I guess like keeping the company, trying to keep an eye on or whatever. And I've seen the dude. Actually, we spoke to each other. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was something else, man. And that actually happened like on the next street from where my stepfather lived at.
Dang, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that neighborhood is right next to me. It's my neighborhood here. I live in Hollywood, and it's right next to it is that neighborhood, Cedar Grove. So yeah, man, that shit. It was it was terrible, man. It was like, it really it had a deep impact on all of us, man. Here in the black community, man. It's but man, yeah. I mean, I'm really kind of burnt out talking about it, but yeah, man, what's going on, man? Back to the program. What's going on, man?
Not much, bro. But you see this this white bitch here saying like, yeah, well, even in Kenya, the Kenyans treat her better than they treat their own people. It's just like a black cop is gonna be worse to a black person more so than trying to show off. I ain't gonna
Absolutely.
say,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I ain't gonna never say
Absolutely.
worse, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's absolutely, man. It's it's just like that thing in our minds, man. It's like what you was talking about earlier. What he was talking about, and what the sister was talking about, how the how black people, how they leave their country and go other places. You know what I'm saying? And how, and I equate that to what we do here. Black people in America, how we leave our neighborhood, we leave our communities. We go to school, we get our education, we learn our skills, and we take those skills into the corporate world, to the white world. You know what I'm saying? And help make them stronger instead of bringing those skills back. And making our community stronger. You know what I'm saying? And then look at the whole thing. It's a what forecast? It's like a con game. It's like a game with what the white folks come. They smart as hell, man. Evil smart. And what I'm saying is, like, they come up with this thing about escape from the ghetto. You look at all the movies we used to look at back in the 90s, about the Boys in the Hood or Minister Society, all that. The whole concept was to escape from the ghetto. In order for you to make it, escape from the ghetto. Now, you know what, man? I grew up in my neighborhood. My neighborhood was no ghetto, man. Now, they call it a ghetto, but it was no ghetto to me. Yeah, was there bad things happening in it? Yeah, man. It's bad things happen everywhere. Everybody's community, in every group. But you know what I'm saying? They sell that thing about escaping and getting you out of, and leaving your community behind. You see the parallel between the African, the continental Africa, the brothers and sisters on the continent. It's so bad in your country where you stay with the corrupt leaders and leaders who don't care about the people. So you got to leave your country, go somewhere else, and take all of your skills, your technical know-how, everything that you know. And them be some brilliant brothers, man. Brilliant brothers and sisters from the continent, as well as from here. We got all of this greatness, this black man and woman magic that we have. But we go and let it work for America, or go let it work for Europe, or work for somewhere else. And then look back at our neighborhood and talk about it. Yeah, look at that, And like you said, and hope now one of them other Negroes don't come. You know what I'm saying? Come from my spot. You know what I'm saying? Come over here and live next to me. You know what I'm saying? And then turn this good neighborhood that I live in now back into the same place that I left. But hell, if you'd have went back to the place where you left and helped build it up, it wouldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the brothers from the continent, the sisters from the continent. You leave your country, you go abroad. Okay, you go in search of opportunity. Okay, go there, learn what you can learn, get your skills, whatever, and get your little money, put your little money and everything, you get that there, you want to make some while you're there, but take it back and help build your country and make it make it a place where the children after you, like you always say, forecast, where our children know how to do the same thing we did. Ain't that's what that was the whole story back then when them European migrants was coming from Europe back in the 19th century. You know what I'm saying? They said, okay, we might not make it over here. We might find out that America ain't paid with at the streets ain't paid with gold, but we're gonna at least work hard and make it good for our children. Black people, we don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Okay, it ain't everything that is chalked up to be. But we're gonna make it better for our children. We don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? No, I ain't never going back. Yeah, I ain't want to go on too long, man. Yeah.
Oh no, you good, my brother. And the thing is, my brother, is the mindset that we don't even realize like why we're doomed is I don't know, like let me just go on to the next thing, right? Because even going back to our own stuff, like you were saying, why don't we build up our own stuff, right? Because then we'll be like, well, this black person did this and all that stuff, but you are the nation, you are the power, you know what I'm saying? And it's that mindset that we have of believing other people and this anti-blackness that deep down we have in ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And we strive for this multicultural thing, and we be like, right is right, wrong is wrong, but you don't understand it is or it's not. You eat or you don't eat, you win or you lose, there is no, oh well, do the right thing. The right thing is making sure that your children are in a better situation, right? And one thing, the way to do that is like you said, you build your own, but then you see how she was talking about, so check this out. Why don't we want to go back to our own? Because everybody else might control it at this
It's
point.
not an African nation. It's not a black country.
There you go, Raw.
Jamaica is not an African nation. It's not a black country. We identify as an ethnically diverse society. People, please just stop it. Out of many, one people, Jamaicans. We do not hyphenate and we do not encourage separation by race. Number two, this one's mine.
I can't wait to get on that one.
Granny one. This one is my mom's, and this is grandpa. If you are planning a trip to Jamaica and you don't own one of these, you're going to have to book a return flight from where you came. These are the rules. I'm just laying it down for you. If you go to Jamaica and you don't have one of these, immigration will stamp your passport and give you a set amount of time that you're allowed to stay in Jamaica. And if you overstay, you're welcome. We put you back on a plane.
We suffer every day. Can you imagine? We have been here for centuries and we're still lagging around. If we to start a business in Jamaica, it's one of the hardest things to start a business. While the Chinaman come from China, come to Jamaica, start a business, non-tax for 5 years. And by the time the 5 years come when him start pay tax, he making cousin and he never and his uncle come and him gone. So, and listen, this have been happening for centuries. So this have nothing to do with.
You got a couple more centuries to go there, buddy. I'm sorry to tell him. I hate to be the one. I'm mad as you are, my brother, but we got a couple more centuries to go. Oh, you wanted to say something though, my brother?
Yeah, I seen the video. I seen it probably last week, about a week before last, about the Asian woman talking about out of many one and all of that. But look here, forecast. Jamaica is a black nation. Jamaica is an African nation. Jamaica is 90 to 95% African. You know what I'm saying? The people with the 5 to 10% being, people who are mixed African and European, a small number of British or English British people who still say they're East Indians, Chinese. These are a small group of people. You know what I'm saying? Chinese in Jamaica about 2%. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I looked it all up. You know what I'm saying? Out of this out of many one thing, this was a thing. This is something. It's politics. You know what I'm saying? It's politics, and it's really. Oh man, I just thought of it. Okay, forecast. What they do? How did they when they first began the colonization process in Africa? What they do? They sent the missionaries first, didn't they? They sent the missionaries. They sent the traders. No, the merchants, the traders, the missionaries. Yeah. Okay, they sent them first. Okay, well, what you do? You send these little Chinese or East Indians, migrant laborers and everything. After they abolished enslavement of Africans, they came up basically with damn near the same thing they did in America with black people, like sharecropping. But they call it by another name now. You know what I'm saying? These they bought these East Indian laborers, to work on the sugarcane plantations, the East Indians, and then they bought the Chinese later. But it was only a small number of these people that came. But what happened, they got a foothold in, you know what I'm saying? They started building business and stuff like that. And next thing you know, just like you see on the corner in Richmond, Virginia, and like I see on the corner in Shreveport, Louisiana, one of them East Indians or them Chinese got a business in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They selling hair and hair products and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? At the little mix stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's how this happened, and that's how the next thing. Right now, today, the Chinese government and the Jamaican government, got shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Where Chinese are coming over there now, and trying to make some moves there. Buying up land or hotels and stuff like that. That's going on now. Because this sister on her channel is she's on Irie, the Irie channel. Irie, it's a channel on YouTube where it's a Jamaican sister, Pan-African, but she's a Garveyite sister, and she be talking about this stuff all the time. I'm gonna send a video to you so you can check her out. But yeah, she was talking about this on one of her programs though. You know, so you know these East Indians and Chinese, these were the ones that they brought there, you know, to establish a foothold for. You know what I'm saying? For something greater to happen now, because you know, I mean, the Chinese, you know, you got some of our brothers talking about how China that's not like the United States or not like the West. No, they neo-colonials too, man. That's neo-colonialism too. It's the same damn thing. What they doing in Africa? Go ahead, brother.
No, because I didn't mean to cut you off, because this is where I want you to go with it, right? Because this is the point, though, right? It's because Negroes is saying what, like, you got to be like, well, come on, they're the same, but Negroes do not understand that lesson, and this what makes it dangerous, though, right? Because as Raw would say, she ain't even Jamaican, she's African, so she ain't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, like if just like if I ask most Negroes in most places, my brother, like now some is gonna be now I ain't gonna front. I met a lot of Jamaican brothers who was real, but I met some Jamaican brothers who was, you know, what is what it was. But like this accepting nature of saying, yeah, well, we are all Jamaicans because right is right. You know what I'm saying? Not even on some, but just on some right is right, welcoming into this thing. But and even if they're a small percentage, like you gotta keep wondering, like the European is less than 10%, but have committed over 90% of the crimes against humanity. They a small population and done what they've done. Like you look at like South Africa, like the small population, but control the majority of the, you know, stuff. And just like in every place, right? Where and then so and let me play a little bit of this and then I want you to say was like
and called me racist for bringing attention to the idea of someone who is at the top of the racial hierarchy talking down to the people at the bottom. So let's get into a little bit of the history. From colonial times and post-independence, we have had a racial hierarchical structure that has not changed very much, if at all. We've had at the top people of European descent. We've had people of Middle Eastern descent. We've had people of Asian descent. We have people of who are light-skinned Afro-Jamaicans. And at the very bottom, we have dark-skinned Afro-Jamaicans. Are there dark-skinned Afro-Jamaicans who have moved up closer to the top of the racial hierarchy? Absolutely. There are some who have been able to either marry their way or buy their way due to their socioeconomic status into higher association, much closer proximity to the non-Black elite. And one of the reasons we see many upper class Afro-Jamaicans who are so steadfastly fighting against policies and against programs that would assist the lower class is because they know that the only thing keeping them in proximity to this top of the racial hierarchy is their wealth. Without this wealth, they would not be accepted into this position in the racial hierarchy. So that's one of the reasons why we see many elite Black Jamaicans who steadfastly fight against policies and programs that impact and that would support people at the lower end of the ladder, because they themselves, their position is not tenable. Without the money that they have, they would immediately lose proximity to these people in the racial hierarchy.
I run a podcast, so nope.
Now, the thing about it, right? Because I meant to say this earlier too, right? Because when we talk about, because one thing they was like, well, you know, Trump took DEI away, and I was saying a long time ago, DIE, you know what I'm saying, like, but really is like we wasn't taking that time. It was like, well, we could build our own stuff. Well, have you? It seems like you've lost things trying to be a part of it, and it go back to that Thurgood Marshall mindset, right? Where we can't be fully integrated unless it can't be fully equal unless we're fully integrated, and we can have white connects, and we can smile in white boys' faces, and we can take white bitches home, and you know what I'm saying, we can do all of this stuff. That's the mindset of Black people. Like, okay, if we can't do stuff, then we gonna have to like build it on our own, because guess what? Like our ancestors literally came from less than what we have right now and was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, even in black areas, black places, not all of them, of course, but you see like the whole hierarchy thing. You try to buy your way into whiteness, essentially, you know. And what makes you accept this racial hierarchy really is cowardice, for real, because they can't beat you. Like, that's at the end of the day, like, that's what makes it happen. You know what I'm saying? Is nature is because you bow down. That's why you accept it. But you want to say something, my brother?
You're absolutely right. And a large part of it is, I hate to say it, is the reason why we such big cowards because you worship the same God your master worship. You know what I'm saying? And when you see that God, you look at him like that, like he looked like your master. Your master look like that God. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And that's deep. You had no idea how deep that's entrenched in our minds. I remember like Dr. Bobby Wright used to say it's only one fight left, and that's the fight for the black man. And when he was saying that, he was also talking about, he said, if we know enslavement, the enslavement of black people, African people was bad, the dehumanization, everything that went on, we know all that was bad. He said, why did they give us such good religion? You know what I'm saying? So he gave us such good religion because that white magic. You know what I'm saying? So that's what keep, hey, you know what I'm saying, forecast? That's what keep 90% of the population from running amok, getting some machetes and moisten up the hill and them houses of the elites and running up out of there. You know what I'm saying? That's why 80%, the 80%, 90% of black people, you know, the population in South Africa don't run them tiny little handful of honkies up out of there. You know what I'm saying? It's that mind thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the image of God. We worship him. We worship whiteness. We want to be close to it. And then, you know, and on top of that, they play their politics, you know, well, you ain't that tribe and that tribe and that tribe, and they push this xenophobia kind of stuff and all this old mess here, all these diaspora wars things where you hear I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, I'm African American, all this other shit. You know, they use their politics. But the main thing at the root, is that when we look at that white man and that white woman, we think we look at that Mary and Joseph. You know what I'm saying? We look at that God's family. You know what I'm saying? We look at them. That's at the bottom of it. It ain't no way around it, man. Because other than that, we'd have read a bucket. Look what the Haitians did. What the first thing that Bookman told those people, because he knew how that religion, that slave religion, that slave master religion worked in our mind. And when he was getting ready to kick off that rebellion in Haiti in 1791, he looked at all of them. He said, listen at me carefully. He said, look at me. Listen at me carefully. And he said, throw away the image of the white man's God. You know what I'm saying? Throw away that image. He said, throw that shit away. Because you know what? He knew how that works in our mind. He knew it. And that's why today, when you say, what you said, well, things will get better one day. Well, we're going to keep on fighting and struggling. We doing this. You mean we're gonna keep on protesting, marching, and fighting for bills and laws, y'all, you know, that already been on the books and that the white folks said, fuck y'all anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep fighting. But all of this old we shall overcome shit one day. You know what I'm saying? Because that kind of mentality work in our mind. Instead of that mentality that Bookman had, and that mentality that Nat Turner had. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that mentality. And like, you know, and for some who well, would you say let's go kill? No, what I'm saying, I ain't saying you got to go up there and go start killing white folks. But you know what I said? You need to go and start building your community. You need to go start being black first, building your community, building your institutions, building everything, and making ourselves a self-sufficient people, and not depending 100% on them. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to do.
All right.
That's fighting. That's fighting back. Yeah.
No. The thing is, right? Like, you want to. And I ain't even saying you gotta go up and slap no white boy. Go to your child's school, or better yet, go support somebody with a black who has a school and send your kid there, or read to them, or teach them history, or learn it yourself. You know, and make sure that you instill the right mindset into you know, your children or whatever. You know, um, and the thing is, right? Even what you say, I agree with what you're saying, right? But why I can't even use the politics as like a trick thing is because we know that Europeans ain't our tribe. We know Asians ain't our tribe, but we sure let them in. Like, is I don't know, is that anti-blackness, you know what I mean? Like that we have gotten probably because of that religion. You know what I'm saying? Probably because whatever. But also, I don't know, because we was like, yo, come on in, pale faces. Maybe this is the lesson that we were supposed to learn the whole time, you know? And we got another 200 years of lessons to go because other groups can come into our circles in a small thing because it's always going, all right, now stop. That ain't right now. You know, it's always going to be that. And I don't know, maybe it's the humanity part, you know, I don't know. Because even, you know, with the Asian, so I ain't gonna talk about this, but the Asian one, but check this out here.
Crazy. I'll be attacked by the left and call me white supremacist, but I have one ask for them. It's just when you give me my hood, make sure it's got the little slits and not the circles so I can.
You see how goofy he is?
Was it worth it? Was that little chuckle worth tap dancing and feeling like a white man for that one moment worth it? Because truth be told, no matter how much ass kissing and bootlicking you do, you will never be white, nor will you have the privileges of being white. Especially when the same people you seek validation for are the same ones who want to deport you, along with many other Vietnamese people, Southeast Asian refugees, and other people of
Get him
color.
out of here.
Only a slap in the face to want to be the face of the American dream when Vietnamese people are dying in ICE custody.
Hey, jokingly asked for a personalized KKK hood so he could see better. So this is what he actually said. I have one aspect, which I don't understand why that makes sense. It's just when you give me my hood, make sure it's got the little slits and not the circle so I can see better.
And he don't realize the joke is he think he's gonna get a hood in the first place. Damn, Chink, he don't know no better yet, you know. But I don't know, my brother. What you think about that?
Well, I think, well, you know, that's okay. Let's talk about Asian people for a minute. Okay, you know, we tend to a lot of times we tend to, I think, especially us, you know, we tend to say, well, they all look alike. You know what I'm saying? When we think about Asian
They
people,
do.
you know, you know what I'm saying? You know, they all look alike. You know, we paint them all with the same brush. You know, instead of hey, you know, you got Chinese, you got Koreans, you got Japanese, you got Vietnamese, you know, Thais, Philippines, different groups of them. And what I found out, and what I know from my studying, you know, like they got a racial hierarchy too in the Asian community. You know, and in the Asian period. You know what I'm saying? You know, well, you know, the Chinese, you know, they come from a great civilization. They feel like they the best. And the Japanese, they come from a great civilization, a warrior tradition, and you know, mighty military, you know, and so on and so on, you know. And like I'm just studying this, and like when you get to like outside of the Chinese, outside of the Japanese, and then maybe the Koreans, you have like the people like in the Indochina region, like Vietnamese people, Cambodian people, you know what I'm saying, Thai people, Laotian people. So basically, in the Asian community, you know, they like to say it in another way. They like the niggas of the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? They like the niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like they the darker complexion. You know, you see people in Cambodia, they darker than the Chinese, Japanese. You know what I mean? So they got a racial hierarchy there too, man. You know what I'm saying? And remember, they like the Chinese, they had, you know, in the late 19th century, the 20th century, you know, before the revolution, the first revolution was Sun Yat-sen them. They had, you know, the Europeans really dominated China economically. You know, they had a little puppet emperor on the throne, but really China was dominated economically by the foreigners, by the Europeans. And they even had all these at restaurants and stuff, different institutions. They had signs that said, "No dogs are Chinese." You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying all this to say that they have also, you know, this racial kind of this kind of thing that operates in their mind just like it does in us. You know, this inferiority complex. You know, that operates in their mind, you know, and like even though like me and you, we look at it like, well, you know, Chinese people, Asian people, you know, y'all like pseudo white people, you know, like, you know, yeah, you know, the proximity of the whiteness, you know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, but among them, among themselves, though, man, you know, they had that same kind of thing, man, and they got that thing between each other. Chinese hate Japanese, you know, and Vietnamese hate Chinese, and, you know, and vice versa. So, I mean, that European, that white mentality, that mentality rubbed off on them too. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that real quick. No, from that video.
Well, yo, let me say this, right? And by the way, yo, my friend was like, "Oh, you could tell Japanese because their eyes is wider, and the Chinese is." And I think it's true. If you look at it, it seemed that way, so you could tell the difference. But um, I wish I could tell the difference because then I would call a Japanese person Chinese because they hate that. You know what I'm saying? I do that on purpose. You know. But yo, let me say this though, right? Because the mentality though, I know you're not saying this, so I'm not saying about you or whatever, because like you already know, right? But with black people, right, it used to irk me all the time because they'd be like, well, the Filipinos are the blacks of the Asian. Like, no, they're the Filipinos. They are who they are because and I had to go through a whole thing to showing like which you already know, like about how crazy the Filipinos are and like they whole society already, you know. But and even the darker skinned Filipinos within their group, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the darker you are, that's what it's leading to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it used to irk me when black people used to say, oh, well, like, and like I said, I know you ain't saying it, but the thing about Asians, right, is when they said stop Asian hate bill, like they didn't separate. They hate each other, but they didn't separate when they was like, um, stop Asian hate, right? They was like, yeah, it's true. We gonna blame it on black people. You know what I'm saying? Even though they knew it was white people, white Neanderthals going in on them, right? But they stayed on code with each other when it came to Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Even in the emissions, you don't see like the Filipinos being like, well, hold on, you know, we the blacks of the Asians, so we gonna stand with the black people. No, they were like, nah, you're right. You're discriminating against Asians. You know what I'm saying? And you know, but you go ahead, my
Yeah,
brother.
yeah, yeah, 100%. I agree with you 100%. And like I mean, you said it right, but like I was just saying, you know, that's what they say.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, so
I
that
know,
you know
yeah,
they the niggas of they, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I mean, that ain't what I was saying. But
I
yeah,
know you
you
don't do that.
know,
But
yeah,
I had
but
so many.
I've heard people say that before too, and I'd be like, no, I be saying the same. I say no, but guess what? Even though they may be the so-called the niggas of the Asians, they still hate you. You know what I'm saying? They still hate you regardless. You know what I'm saying? It will go off on you. You know, I mean, we've seen it. You know, Vietnamese people and Filipinos. And Filipinos, some of the worst races of the Asians. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
yeah, you know, I mean, I get 100% what you're saying.
Yeah. And I know you ain't saying that because I used to have people come on here all the time because I used to have to specifically go in, you know, on like the specific because I like to take away black people's talking points. You know what I'm saying? Like because we love everything and everybody, and we looking for a hero, the John Brown complex. You know what I'm saying? And I know you may or may not disagree with me, brother, but like Candace Owens will get what she has coming, right? True. Okay, fine. Like you can't save her. She's a clone. She's cloned out. But I would never side with John Brown over Candace Owens ever.
Oh, hey, check this out. Let me go real quick, bro. Let me say something. I did. Okay, I did. I don't know if you. I don't know if I sent you that post. Well, I had a post on IG. It was about
Yeah,
the
about the
sister,
sister, right? Yeah, I saw
the
that.
sister who got killed. You know what I'm saying? I said, what I'm not gonna do is okay, because the bro, I was in the comment section looking at it, and brother was like, "Yes, you got what you deserve." Man, don't nobody deserve. No sister deserve to get killed. You know what I'm saying? No brother. You know, bother. I mean, what the brother name who was with that ugly white bitch who killed him? You know what I'm talking about? The
Yeah.
IG girl.
I don't
Okay,
know his name, but
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he was playing in the snow, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and you know, and whatever, and yeah, we could be like, man, look at this shit, but he didn't deserve to die. he deserved to get killed. You know, just like she didn't. I'm not gonna never sit up here and jump up and say hooray because a brother or sister got killed. No, because they will mess with them people. Yeah, I mean, hell, I despise that type of thing, that relationship. But no, I'm not gonna jump on and say hooray. You know what I'm saying? So, like you're saying, yeah, I mean, it ain't gonna never be a day where I'm a side with some hunky against Candace Owens. You know, you know, anybody like that. You know, I'm not gonna. I mean, hell no. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, and
You know
this is the
exactly.
thing. And when a government, like, you know what, when people can just take over, is when enough people that it meets critical mass that don't believe in the government no more and is willing to fight or take over or not listen, at the very least not listen to them no more, you know. And if enough black people had that mindset, then we probably won't be slaves, you know what I'm saying? Which might take another 200 years, right? For us to get to the mindset of it's not about like right is right. No, I would never side with John. I don't care if it's John Brown, get up out the grave himself, right? And call um Candace Owens a nappy headed black bee. I ain't gonna side with him. But most black people will be like, you know what? She is though, she right. And I might can't bust up in the room and save that sister, right? She did what she did. But at the end of the day, now there's a law that's been broken, right? Now you have, especially this one, he should get extra hanging, like put him on a cross or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, because this dude took a sister back to Africa to slaughter her, then paid off an African government and trying to walk away with it. But I don't know. It is what it is, my brother. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here in a second. So let me play this last thing, right? So let me play this. Cause here's some more of your friends. Now the thing when I keep telling y'all the lesser of two evils, and even my mama was like, "Well, now is you ready to get Trump out? Is what are they gonna do for black people?" I tell you what, they better come up with something, or they probably gonna lose again. And I know y'all mad at me for saying that, but it is what it is. And it hurts my soul because when I hear y'all saying that stuff, I hear Candace Owens to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no different to me because y'all is dependent on this dude. Y'all be like, it's like, oh well, Trump can pardon himself, but y'all cool with Biden pardoning his crackhead son? Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, there ain't no lesser of two evils. You know what I'm saying? And as much as you try to fight and do everything for everybody else, if you put a fraction of that energy into yourself, like we would be free at this point. But I don't think we will do that, you know?
Anyone's surprise, but I support Ashley Gonzalez, regardless of how you.
Oh, by the way, this is who we talking about. He supported.
I fucking hate like I hate y'all. Like you, like I don't. Oh, we were slaves this entire. I don't give a. But like for a reason, you guys were slaves. You guys don't know anything better than the steal. Like oh my god, like I was literally eating food with my friend. He had his, oh my god, like I don't know, por Dios, por gracias de Dios, I had my wallet next to me, like my whole purse, and those like that little small shit. This.
All right. It's she got too much Neanderthal language in her, so
That, but this is now looking like you feel. But I support Ashley Gonzalez, regardless of how you feel as a white American or a black American. Latinos can say whatever we want. Black Americans and white Americans try to force us into their white versus black mentality. They want us to subscribe to their social idealisms. And
I think they're a little upset because of how irrelevant this mulatto is, right? Because this is what happens when you take away that sister from doing that. Then you stop creating these. Don't you see that race? This go back to this racial hierarchy that we see. There will be no Middle Easterners. There'll be no light skin. So then you only got to worry about the Denisovans and the Neanderthal. You know, but
and that includes their language. And quite frankly, I am refusing As a Latino, I am refusing to bow down to their linguistic authority. Personally, I don't even care about Ashley Gonzalez herself. She is an individual. She can make her own decisions. If she wants to apologize, she can apologize. I, however, will never apologize. I am not going to apologize. I refuse to bow down to American bullshit when it comes to social standards, at least some of them. Like, if you're going to come at me and say or be upset because I said the N word, I don't give a fuck. I truly don't give a fuck.
All right, so not like you care or whatever, but
My whole group of people are racist, and that Ashley Gonzalez is a representation of that racism within our community. That is completely false whatsoever, because you cannot pinpoint racism to one ethnic group. Racism is a human problem, and you can, if you want to go with that logic, you can pinpoint racism in any race, any ethnic group. White people.
well, his dumb ass can't talk right. Well, you see how I be like, yeah, don't bow down to no American standards and stuff like that, you know. So talk how I talk, you know what I'm saying, and I talk the right way, right? But a lot of us have been just so conditioned that, like, no, just speak correctly, and yes, sir, is the right way to say things, you know. And then you wonder why, and then you defend everybody else, right? And then wonder why you get stabbed in the back, even not to even like, and why not? That's how the damn sister Jasmine Crockett lost, talking all this stuff about Spanish people and people of color and doing all of this stuff for everybody but black people. Well, you know what? Hopefully, a critical mass enough of black people will be like, you know what, it is what it is. And if they do take this DEI away from you, now, hey, now you got to get up and go build your own stuff, right? But the thing is, you really just want this comfort so that we can get the Democrats on here so we can go on here and complain in peace, right? So that we can sit here and debate about whatever. Well, no, it's no more debating. The great white hope has come, right? And has created countless black missionaries. And some other brothers and sisters is hiding under their beds right now. Can't wait to the next election talking about some vote blue no matter who. What is their politics? I don't know. What is the name of the candidate you're running for? I don't know. Well, do you want your street fixed? I don't care about my street. I just want Trump out of office. Well, you know what? That I want the potholes and my street fixed. I want the salt on my street. You know what I'm saying? Or what are we talking about here? Don't ask me to do nothing. Otherwise, I'm gonna go put the salt down on my own street and do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna stop taxing me. But y'all ain't need, that's a whole nother conversation. Yo, you wanna say something, my brother?
Man, them potholes in Richmond bad too, man.
Man, and where I live at, goddamn,
Man,
the size of your tire.
Man, look here. I'm telling you, comedians, they be making jokes about Shreveport, man. I'm talking about the comedians who come here, they be making jokes like, man, you gonna go to Shreveport, the road so bad. You know what I'm saying? Man, these potholes are motherfucker though, man. I'm telling you, these potholes are bad. I say I'm just wondering if they like that in Richmond.
Well, I mean, you got nice areas and bad areas,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, we got, that's everywhere,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, just the idea that you bought a pothole, and that's all we talk about now. That these bad ass roads tearing up Negroes' cars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because our streets get fixed last, you know.
Exactly. And but what I was gonna say though, man, okay, what Dr. Amos Wilson said back in the 1990s, he said, one day you're gonna find out what multiculturalism really means. And he was talking about the Latinos, the Hispanics. When we say that, we talk about those mestizos, those mixed Indian and Europeans, or the European Latinos and Mexicans and people like that. We're not talking about the black ones, the Afro Latinos. We talk about them who think they white or close to white. Well, he said that back then. He said, see, black people, he said black people now, he was talking about the same thing about that multiculturalism. You remember that lecture he had about multiculturalism? But he was saying that. He was saying about how black people, we fight for everything. We fight, like you said, we fight for everybody else, right? Including everybody, black people and brown people and black people and people of color, and all of this old bullshit here. And the shit you hear us tell other brothers and sisters, like from the continent, right? But we laid the foundation for you to be able to come over here. You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit there us about the multicultural thing. What Dr. Amos Wilson said, he said that was in 1995. He said that back then. He said, in 20 years, you're going to find out what the hell that means. You know what I'm saying? And this what you get right here. You got these Negroes running around talking about black and brown unity and can we repair it and all the hell no, you can't repair it. There ain't never been no black and brown unity. Yeah, you had a couple of them who said this and that, when they didn't have their numbers up, like that. But now once they got their numbers up, they say, well, we gonna be that second largest minority ethnic group now. We gonna be the closest to the white folks. We finna get that spot. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it ain't never been no damn black and brown unity. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the black community and the Latino community. You know what I say when I'm saying a Hispanic community? We know which ones I'm talking about. No, it ain't never been that. It's always been a competition, and they was playing for power, and you was playing for multiculturalism. You know what I'm saying? You playing for we are a level playing field for everybody. Everybody equal. You wasn't thinking about yourself getting your spot, playing for power. They was playing for power. They was playing for position to get some power. You know what I'm saying? To get their spot over you. You know what I'm saying? But black folks don't, my Latino friends, my white, my people of color friends, and all this old dumb foolishness, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't do nothing. We don't study our enemies at all. And we think that our only enemy is the white person, is the white man. The white folks is our only enemy. Yeah, they might be our major enemy. And sometimes I think they might not be our major enemy because our major enemy might be the one that we look at in the mirror every motherfucking morning. You know what I'm saying? But you got them brown and them yellow, red, and brown people too. Those people of color, your enemy too. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to get ahead of your black ass. You know what I'm saying? And they will step on you and fight you to get to that spot. But we don't understand power, man. Like you said, we don't understand nothing about no power, man.
I don't know, my brother. Well, maybe in another 200 years, things will work out for the better. Right now, we're doomed. I'm telling you. Only, I'm not gonna say that, but right now we're doomed. I don't know. So get fluent in yes, sir, in Mandarin. Get fluent. Si, senor. I know that one. So I'll be good for a little while. You want to go to Africa, so you better go learn some Mandarin, my brother. I don't know. But just for the hope of what could have been power, what could have been.
I'm not allowed to eat here.
The woman filming is a guest at this Georgia hotel.
Educational
According
ass
to
with
her, this guest has been telling her she has to leave for some unknown reason. And now both of them
I'm checking out. I'm gonna slap her ass.
are heading toward a confrontation.
Get out of here. Ma'am. She can guess. I don't care. You can't put her out of here. What?
The woman allegedly spits on the woman recording and pays a price.
I'm sorry, bitch.
You see, this is how societies are built or not. You know what I'm saying? This is, you either win or you don't. You know what I'm saying? This is how you get your respect. You beat them down until they say, I'm sorry, And you might think that you can't do it, right? Because then even black people will be like, based off the stuff that I said, just because I don't be like vote blue no matter who, y'all will probably tell me the same thing a clan member would say, like, go back to Africa. Yeah, well, maybe you should come with me. Matter of fact, while they drop us off, because we're gonna have to get them out of there too. So now we still gonna have to have the same fight. So now what is up? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you still gonna have to fight no matter what. But just because you want to keep whatever comfortable, like, because if things were still comfortable, we'd all be on here having 4-hour lives about, laughing it up, you know what I'm saying, while we getting screwed over, while brothers is dying every day and getting fired and getting their jobs replaced and all that. But that's a whole nother thing. This is how societies are built. You win
A
or you
woman
lose.
allegedly spits on the woman recording and pays a price.
I'm sorry, bitch. I'm sorry. No. Spit on me again, bitch. Stupid asshole. Okay, I'm sorry. My ass out here.
The woman's apology is too little, too late.
Ooh. The apology is too little, too late. You know what I'm saying? Now, look at this on a term of, if you were in a position of power and you were talking about a war in Iraq, but you was having a war in freaking, I don't know, one of them shithole countries in Europe, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, and just for this last thing.
I'm not going to get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out my face. Say that N-word again. Say that N-word again. Say it again. Everybody, just adult. Say it again. You started me, bitch. You started me.
All right, so there you go, my brother. What you think about that?
Shit, his brother was taking care of business. He was taking care of business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. If you feel like if these hunkers feel like they can go around saying stuff like that, and they usually try to do it around somebody they think ain't gonna get them. You know what I'm saying? That's what they usually try to do. Or they think you scared because you don't camera, I'm gonna call the police. But sometimes you gotta go and do what you gotta do, man. Go on and dust that honky up. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what time it is. Then hurry up and get the fuck off around now. You know what I'm saying? Before those people come. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Handle your business, man. Handle your business. I'm saying you got that, and sometimes we're gonna have. I mean, it's like I look at it like a microcosm of the bigger picture. Black folks, we gonna have to eventually handle our business. And you say 200, it ain't gonna be no more. It ain't gonna be no 200 years. Ain't gonna be no 200 years. If you think about 200 years, then that means never. Ain't nothing gonna happen.
Maybe
Ain't no 200 years.
Maybe
No,
200 years.
nah,
I don't know.
hey, look here.
Might.
I'll give you 50 at the most. 40, 50 at the most. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's gonna be closer to that. Cause see, 200 years, it ain't gonna be no more black people. Y'all gonna be all looking like Klay Thompson or something, man. You know what I'm saying? Or what it is, it ain't gonna be no more of that. It ain't gonna be no more of that.
You're right. You're right. It
Yeah,
might
it
be
ain't gonna be
100
no more.
years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't gonna be no more, man. So it's either now or never. It is already too late. You know what I'm saying? It's too late now, nigga. It was too late 100 years ago. It was too late then. We done had Marcus Garvey. We done had Brother Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? We done had all of our teachers, man, who done came and tried to let us know what time it was. We had Dr. Amos Wilson. We had Dr. Bobby Wright. We had plenty of them to tell you, wake y'all ass up. Dr. Barbara Sizemore, wake y'all. You dumb Negroes still don't get it. And we still don't get it. And it's already too late. It's already too damn late right now. It ain't too late for us to do something, but it's too late. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no time to be okay. Well, no, fuck that. All that procrastinating bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's already too late. Nigga, you need to start doing some shit now. You can start doing some shit now, man. Because it ain't gonna be no 200 years. It ain't gonna be no 100 years, nigga. All y'all gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, my brother. We gonna see. That means we doomed. In other words, he's saying we doomed.
Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Unless you get off your ass now, it's a wrap.
I don't know, my brother. So, yo, you want to say anything to wrap it up? I was looking for something to wrap it up, but I'll have to find it later. It was like a movie thing. I can't think of the name right now. Plus, I got a headache anyway. So, you want to say something to wrap it up, man? It's integration, fatalism. You know what I'm saying? We're doomed. A doomed outcome.
Well, man, I say, well, first of all, man, you know, as always, man, it was, great to be on the show and talk with you, man. Discuss our things, discuss what we discuss, how we do it, man. Great. I hope you feel better, man. Yeah, would you got a headache or something?
Yeah, man. I'll be all right though. It is what it is.
Yeah. I hope you feel better, man. Take something for it, man. Go lay down, get to some rest and everything. I know you got to get up and get up. You got to get up and get on that mule in the morning.
Yes, sir. I got to. Yes, sir. I sure
You gotta
get
go
up early in the morning.
gotta go
sir.
get behind that plow, get behind that mule. Yeah.
I have to do a good job today, sir. I gotta get my Zoom ready. So yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
man. Yeah, but anyway, though, man. Yeah, man. Hope you feel better. And like I say, man, it's it look bad now, but we can't, we can't. You ain't gonna save everybody. You just ain't gonna save everybody, but we gotta just like you say, we gotta work for the children, man. All these old Negroes my age and it's probably too late for them. But try right now. Your work is for the children, man. For the future, man. For our children, and hope that we could pass something to them that they could carry it, and you know what I'm saying, and hopefully they could do way better than we did, man. Way better than we doing. You know what I'm saying, but we want to keep it positive though, man. Yeah, I'm jiving, saying that it's over with, but it's still damn near over with. But see, damn near mean it ain't 100% over with. So yeah, it's over with, but it ain't completely over with. But yeah, man, it ain't too much though, man. I ain't got really too much to say, man. Like I say, I'm still kind of getting my head together from shit that happened last week. You know what I'm saying? And because I've been thinking like, man, we got to do way better than what we doing, man. Being our own worst enemies and stuff, and now we up here hurting our children and stuff. But anyway, though, man, yeah, it's still a light at the tunnel, man. We can still see some light. That's all I gotta say, man. I enjoyed the show, brother, and peace to everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah. Oh, shouts out to my brother Seymour in the building. I appreciate you, my brother, for coming through. Yo, long time, my brother. Long time. Shouts out to him. Yo, he was around when we was talking about like places like Argentina. We did all of those places and those, Spanish stuff, you know what I'm saying? So shouts out to that brother. I'm gonna show this. Let this brother have the last words. I guess. Matter of fact, both of these brothers. It is what it is.
That's an excellent. Iron is made in China, and there are 10 times as many black people in this country as there are Chinese. Then they can sell irons made in Nigeria. If we can buy Chinese-made iron in Woolworths and in these other places, we can buy irons made in the Caribbean, irons made in South America, irons made in Africa, etc. And we can see stamped on the made in Nigeria, made in Ghana, made in here, made in there. And those irons and those products and those cheap fans and all that other stuff can be wholesaled by African Americans and sold and marketed by African Americans, both through African American retail and European retail situations. And therefore we create jobs for African Americans here in America, and we create jobs for Africans the world over. We got it. All we got to do is take it. Thank you for your attention.
On the planet. And the nigger that's on the planet is the one that is destroying the water. People are not niggers. We are imitation niggers. Now, what we have to do is we have to devise a system or a plan for ourselves. And I said earlier that each one of you is a system. And everything that you do, every thought that you think, either you are supporting white world terror domination by your actions, what you buy, what you wear, where you go, what you eat, how you use your time. You are either supporting the white people in their process of death, or you're for African liberation. It's one or the other. And if we don't use our time wisely, then we are engaging in a form of subtle suicide. Because as I said earlier, their system is still going on. They still have these images on TV that are going on. They're still warehousing our children in the special ed, giving them Ritalin. There are no jobs. We fill in the hospitals. So their system is not stopping. And then finally, I want to say that we need one idea. And we're not thinking about a solution to the problem. We're dealing with all these other things, but these are diversions from the solution to the problem. And we have to start to think about a solution to the problem so that these young brothers and sisters who are here now, who are 15, 16, and 17, are not here 25 years later talking about these same problems. Now, how do I know that the white people know that we are going to come up with a solution to the problem? I know it because they have retina scans, they have what they call racial profiling, DNA banks, and they're monitoring our people to try to prevent the one person from coming up with the one idea. And the one idea is how we are going to exterminate white people, because that, in my estimation, is the only conclusion I have come to. We have to exterminate white people off of the face of the planet to solve this problem. Now, I don't care whether you clap or not, but I'm saying to you that we need to solve this problem because they are going to kill us. And I will leave on that. So we have to just set up our own system and stop playing and get very serious and not be diverted from coming up with a solution to the problem. And the problem on the planet is white people.
All right, yeah. So like he said, I'll end with that. And yeah, shouts out to that brother. Now we are here 25 years later having the same conversation. But my good brother Anthony said it will not be 200 years because we finna be looking like Klay Thompson in about 50 years. So, well, I don't know. Maybe that's the bright side about it. I don't know. So, and yeah, I know my brother. I'm trying to make sure that if I can't go live on a Sunday, I'll do it on the Monday, and then we be back Wednesday, 9:30 my time. I'm not sure what time that is for you, but it's 9:30 East Coast time on Wednesday. And I try to come on Sunday or Monday, but I don't have a time. So, and I know I got my channel blocked and all that stuff, and y'all don't really get notifications and stuff. But I'll try to stay better on the schedule, but make sure it's I'll make sure it's definitely Wednesday. So, shouts out to my brother Anthony. Shouts out to Seymour. Of course, shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate y'all. And as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.